building a tire is actually really easy. You just grab an old truck tire. Typically you want to grab one, if you're going to use plates to load it down, get one with a 15 or 16 inch wheel or designed for a size wheel. Because otherwise the plates have a tendency to fall through and you're dragging the plate as well. So 15 or 16 inch wheel, standard truck tire works fine. And you're going to need an eyebolt. About like this, probably about a 1 inch eye. Simply drill into the tire, thread this through, throw a really big fat washer and a nut on the back, and then tighten it all the way down. So you have a good anchor point right here. Tires are free if you go to a tire place because they normally have to pay to dispose of them. So you can just go, be like, hey, I need a 31-10-50 tire, and they'll just give it to you. Okay? From there, once you have that set up, you have to make a decision on whether or not you want to drag around the waist or use a shoulder harness. If you're going to drag around the waist, it's going to be cheaper. You can get a piece of tow strap, which is what this is, or go to the local fire station and find some old fire hose. They'll typically give it to you free of charge. Okay? You're going to need a length of that, probably about 7 feet, maybe 8 feet in length, and you're just going to do an overhand knot or a loop in one end and a loop in the other. And it's going to basically create a harness that's going to go around your waist. You're also going to need a piece of chain, anywhere from about 5 to 6 feet long, and 2 snap links or carabiners on each side. One of which is designed to attach to the harness, and the other one is designed to attach to the eyebolt. Okay? I like to use a harness designed for dragging, made by Fringe Sport. Okay? You can get these online, they're fairly inexpensive. It's just a little more comfortable than using around the waist. Around the waist has a tendency to kind of pinch the hips a little bit, and it can be a little uncomfortable over time. You can also use that one at an angle across your body, just kind of alternate every 5 to 10 minutes. But the harness is very, very comfortable and fairly inexpensive. It's worth it if you're going to be doing this for extended durations. As far as loading the tire goes, you need to load the tire as heavy as is necessary to force you to walk at a very slow pace. And when I say slow, I mean like a 25-minute mile. Okay, so if you're able to jog with the tire, or you can hear the tire kind of skipping along, it's not loaded down enough. Now what's going to impact that is going to be the surface that you're dragging on. Okay, so if you're dragging on concrete or some asphalt that has a lot of loose gravel, loose dirt, maybe some sand, it's going to slide easier, so it's going to require more weight in the tire. For us, we found with a full-size truck tire like this and a 45-pound plate on a pretty smooth patch of pavement is just about ideal. But keep in mind, it's going to really be dependent on the kind of tire you're using, as well as the surface area you're going to be dragging on. As far as loading it down, you can use a sandbag, you can use your hunting pack, you can use plates. In the gym, we use the standard bumper plates. Females usually use 25, guys usually use 45, and then we can continue to stack on top from there. So it doesn't matter what you load it with. You have a small kid, you can put him on top of it and drag him around the neighborhood. It doesn't matter. The key is you got to load it heavy enough to where it's going to be a slow, hard drag. So you see what you want to accomplish is get the tire heavy enough to where you really have to lean into it. And that's going to closely replicate the idea of going up a hill. Like here it's a fairly flat surface, but when you're going uphill you have that incline. And so you're going to end up being more vertical. You kind of replicate that same feeling, that kind of extension of the knees, stretching the calf, a lot more pressure in the lower extremities by having a heavy tire. It forces you to lean forward. Also notice that my natural gait or my steps, they're not just a regular walk. I'm kind of leaning into it, doing those short, choppy steps, right? It's going to be a concentric motion, basically again and again and again. It really closely mimics going uphill for extended duration. You can tell I did it very shortly. I'm already slightly out of breath. The idea of this effort is the first 5-10 minutes shouldn't be that challenging. But what happens is fatigue will continue to build, especially in your legs, and it will force you to breathe harder and heavier. And that's what we want to accomplish when doing that tire drag. We suggest a minimum of 20 minutes, not to exceed probably 1 hour of doing this modality.